6 signs you're burned out, not lazy. Brought to you by Brainetic. Are you someone who gets weary easily and doesn't want to do anything? Do you consider this type of behavior to be nothing more than laziness? There is a lot of overlap between laziness and burnout, making it difficult to tell the two apart. Burnout is a debilitating state of emotional, physical, and mental weariness caused by an inability to cope with excessive stress. According to a poll conducted in 2010, around 75% of adults in the United States have experienced burnout symptoms, with over 40% of cases being severe. It's more important than ever to educate and better understand the nature of burnout. So, with that in mind, here are 6 strong symptoms that you're experiencing burnout rather than laziness right now. Number 1. You feel disconnected. Do you go through the motions of your everyday routine as if you're on autopilot? Is there a constant sense of separation from yourself? Depersonalization is something you can be experiencing, but not realizing or understanding if you're suffering from burnout. People who are experiencing depersonalization, especially those who are dealing with trauma, describe an odd emotional numbness or emptiness, as if they are witnessing life from the outside. They are uninterested in anything. And they are frequently tormented by a feeling of helplessness and an inability to regain control of their lives. Number 2. Used to be motivated. Laziness is a personality attribute. Character traits also tend to be consistent throughout time. A lazy individual is uninterested in putting forth effort or dedicating themselves to tasks. However, if you were previously self-motivated and an ambitious person, and have only recently become exhausted, uninspired, and unmotivated, it's more likely that you're suffering from burnout rather than laziness, as most people believe. Number 3. Passionate individual. The difference between someone who is burned out and someone who is lazy is that the former used to have things that they were enthusiastic about, but now find it difficult to find interest or delight in. Burnout can make it difficult to do the things you once loved or felt enthusiastic about, whether it's a talent, a sport, or just your academic or professional performance in general. You may even come to despise it as a result of how much you overworked and pushed yourself to the limit as a result of it. Number 4. You've grown irritated and cranky. Do you find yourself becoming irritable and snappy all of a sudden? Do you ever feel emotionally out of control and have no idea why? Burnout symptoms such as irritability and moodiness are frequent, yet often missed. So, if you're having difficulties controlling your emotions, especially if it wasn't previously a problem for you, this could be the cause. Lazy individuals, on the other hand, are the polar opposite of this, since they are frequently easygoing, laid back, placid, and unmoved by events. Number 5. Ignore self-care. If you start to neglect self-care and socially withdraw from others, this is one of the most troubling warning signs that you may be physically and emotionally worn out. Changes in your eating and/or sleeping habits are worrying. Because you're so easily exhausted by even the simplest of tasks, you stop making an effort to groom yourself or look decent, and you tend to spend much of your time alone doing nothing. The difference between being burned out and being lazy is that you weren't always like this. Number 6. Changes happened over time. Finally, but perhaps most importantly, you should be aware that burnout manifests itself in stages. So, all of the previous issues, such as losing interest and drive in activities we used to enjoy, feeling disconnected from ourselves and from everything around you, socially withdrawing, and ignoring your self-care, won't happen overnight. According to research, there are 5 distinct stages of burnout, each with varying degrees of severity. The initial euphoria, the onset of stress, chronic stress, and habitual burnout are all stages that people go through. Many people start to show symptoms as early as the second phase, when there is still a moderate amount of stress. However, optimism, interest, motivation, and performance are all starting to decline. Burnout has become so entrenched in your life by the time you reach the 5th and final stage, the continuous mental and physical weariness becomes more intense and difficult to treat, leaving you more vulnerable to depression and anxiety. It's far easier to obtain help and recover from burnout only if you recognize the signs early on. That's why it's essential to enhance awareness of burnout, rather than dismissing it as laziness, as many people do. So, if you or someone you know is experiencing mental or emotional burnout, please don't hesitate to speak with a mental health expert about it right away. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, leave a comment below with your opinions, insights, and suggestions, and share it with others who are struggling with burnout. Don't forget to subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, to be notified of new videos each week. As always, thank you for watching.